If you don't know that song, you must have been living in the cave
exactly. You certainly was not in Nigeria or was not in Africa. Anywhere in the world. That song, Igwe, took the whole scene by storm, especially in the gospel circle. And even in, I remember there was a party somewhere, and a comedian came, and before he said anything, everyone started playing and singing Igwe before they...
All right, you know what? We're not really necessarily talking about Igwe done by Midnight Crew. We're looking at it from a different slant. Now, the Nigerian music scene was once buzzing with different music groups like the Plantation Boys, Remedies, Maintain, Kush, Style Plus.
There are so many. But over time, the number of talented music groups has dwindled. These groups are often a combination of different unique talents, but for reasons known to them, many such groups have split up.
Yes, indeed. Now, we wonder why such music groups do not stand the test of time. That's what we're looking at this morning. We have a musician, Mike Abdul, one of the major faces in the Midnight Crew. Good morning, and thanks for
Mike.
Joining
Thank
us.
you for having
nice
me.
to see
Oh,
you.
Mike, two mics.
Yeah, Mike, two mics.
Okay, and I have my mic.
Yeah, exactly. So you are in.
Okay, so first question. What is it with groups like this? No matter how successful you get, they just come crashing down, and the rest of us are in pain and we're just in tears. Why would those groups break up? What is really at the root of it? Is it money, or ego, or somebody
or disagreements,
you know, things like that?
Well, on how to share the loot.
It's not only groups, even solo artists. Yeah. Oh. While you're enjoying some solo artists and you just feel, these people should go on now. Why is it not going on? We used to hear him years ago, and you know, we even end up calling some of them one-hit wonders. You know, you know, sometimes a vision is for an appointed time, and once it has spent its time, the visionary wants to move on to other things. The most important thing is, has he done his contribution? You know, has he contributed well? And do we enjoy the contribution? Oh, thank you very much. Bye. I think that's the way.
Like Shakespeare said, leave the stage when the ovation is
honestly,
is that what's playing out?
That's the way it is.
So is it that groups, music groups, are not originally designed to last?
Oh well.
Is that it?
It's not only groups, though.
Okay.
Not everything lasts forever. Not everything lasts forever. You know what I think happens is that pressure is put on musicians to stay a particular length of time. You understand? So
especially when you are enjoying them or their kind of music.
You understand? And then, do you know what? Most of the time, when an artist knows that, okay, I'm doing my music because of the pressure, his music will now be filled with tension. You know, he will no longer appeal to the emotion of the people unknowingly. He'll just know that, oh, my music doesn't reach the people any longer. You know, once the passion is no longer there, or is not as it used to be, you'll move on.
What are the likely things that can actually kill passion?
For groups, let me say this, for groups. A lot of things happen, life happens, you know. People enter marriages and then they're thinking a different way. You know, most groups, they form groups in their teenage. Or probably
when they're all still single.
Like the Plantation Boys, for example.
You understand? And then when they're in their early 20s, well, oh, there's a lot of, hey guys, let's do this together. But then as they grow older, okay, people are having other ideas as to what they want to do with their lives and all that. And you cannot really say, oh, no, you have to be in the group, you have to think like the group, you know. You have to allow the individual be who he wants to be. That's the way it is, really.
Wow. Anyway, but let me even say, why do people come together as a group in the first place? It's very trivial a question, but make us understand really. Why do people come together as a group?
It's because they share the same vision and they have passion to drive that vision. at that time. Yes.
Does the kind of music you want to do, for example, change, whether it's secular or religious music,
yes.
or, you know, gospel,
yes.
and all of that? Okay, take Midnight Crew, for example.
Yes.
When you hear Midnight Crew, you readily recognize that sound.
Correct.
Does the time come when maybe for you, Mike, or any other member of the group decides, I'm not feeling this kind of music anymore. I want to, you know, explore other kinds of music. Does that get in the way too?
You're so right. That gets in the way also. It's one of the things that gets in the way. You know, it's a creating process for the artist. I mean, the whole of you becomes an art. And then the world becomes your board, where you want to find expression, you know, and you want to find expression in several ways. You understand what I'm saying? And then at that time, you may not be resonating with the other members of the group. It's expected.
Well, you've not talked about money. You've not talked about money.
Honestly, money is the least, though. Honestly,
really?
Money is the least. Money is not the thing. If you all have passion, if the passion is still there, the money will not count.
Wow.
It really won't count. But once the passion is getting divided and stuff, in fact, that's when you start seeing the money. The money is really, really not it. It's really not it.
But in viewing this thing, is there a difference between gospel group and secular group when it comes to what really drives them together and how to really look at these things?
And stay glued.
And stay glued. Huh? Is there a difference?
You see, that staying glued is still the ish.
Okay.
We really don't have to stay glued.
Okay.
Honestly, I think that groups should first of all respect individuality. That's the first thing, you know, because without the individual, the group won't exist. So, I mean, appreciate the individual, allow the individual. You understand what I'm saying? Respect the individuality. That's the way it works. And then when the individual is no longer, you know, there any longer, let it be. Let it be.
But is there some level of naivete that, you know, is there when the group is just starting? You know, like you said earlier, I mean, they're teenagers, you know, just starting off, when you're so excited, you know, let's do this, I can do this, I can do that. And you don't, you know, cross the T's and dot the I's, especially when it comes to, look, what do we do when success sets in? What do we do when the money starts coming in? And all of that. Is it the naivety that, that is the real problem?
What do we do when the success comes? We don't even think about such things
at all.
Honestly, the first thing is the passion. The passion. And then, of course, when you don't give direction to passion, the passion will burn out. You know, I think that's what a lot of us fail to do. And of course, understandably well, because we are still teenagers. We don't know much, you know. And it's while in the group that we start maturing, you understand, and we start getting better understanding as individuals. As individuals. And then we're thinking, okay, maybe I'd like to sound like this. Maybe I'd like to sound like this. And then if it resonates with the rest of the group, yes, it can go on. But if it doesn't, oh well.
All right, let me put you on the spot now. If I have to bring up the Midnight Crew, your group that you have all worked together to touch Nigerians, I must say.
Yes.
What is your story as regards the pains you have gone through to put together to ensure everybody's come together, you know, to ensure you keep going on with the vision?
Well, apparently for Midnight Crew, I think good for us. We had a lot of elder ones who had gone ahead of us. We had people who were not necessarily also in music. They were in other sectors, you know, who advised us. They were our elder brothers, elder sisters, aunties, you know, uncles around, and then they gave us a bit of advice. Okay, let's do this way. Then, of course, a few pastors too who were interested. They felt, oh, this is good. We'd like to support you and all that. So I think that that helped us. Some of their words of advice helped us in trying to keep us together, you know, and keeping it glued. I think one of those things was consistency. Consistency, you know, being consistently relevant, you know, understanding what your sound is, and being dynamic about it, because people can get bored.
And being ready really for the change that is totally inevitable.
Honestly, that's the way it is.
I noticed that for some artists, it's difficult to actually extricate yourself from the group you are coming from. Take the Remedies, for example. You had Eddie who tried, you know, what he could. He still called himself Eddie Remedy. Oh, but I noticed you don't go Mike Abdul,
Midnight Crew.
You've been able to find your own identity, even outside of that. But then again, you still come back as Midnight Crew to do stuff together. And
Midnight Crew still exists. It's still
why is it difficult for an artist to still, you know, have that complete break?
Yes. The reason for that is it's scary, really, when you've been known with a Midnight Crew, for instance, and then you want to start Mike Abdul. It's really scary, you know, because people are waiting. They're like, okay, let us see. And then you know what Midnight Crew has already achieved. So you don't want to sound like 25%
of what
Midnight Crew is in your own case.
You really still want to be 100%. Now that's a lot of work. Wow. That's a lot of work for you. So that's why some people will still go Mike Abdul Midnight Crew.
Yeah.
But as it is right now, when you come up with your own
identity,
there's a song, but there's one of your videos I always like to watch. No Other Name. It's fresh every time I watch it. It's just so inspiring. But when you come up with your own stuff, different from Midnight Crew. How do the others? How do they feel? How do they take it?
Well, good enough for me. I enjoyed plenty support from members of Midnight Crew. For instance, the person that handles my sales, you know, helps me with publishing and all that, is the second guy in Midnight Crew.
Okay.
You know, he runs a publishing outfit, and then he handles that for me. Yeah. So
you still have them. You still have them.
You know what? We're not going to let you go without giving us something. But very quickly. What do you think about the spat between Blackface and Two-Face? For a long time, they had these issues over who wrote African Queen. You know, is it sour grapes?
I like the way you put it, yes. Maybe I'll go with that.
Okay, all right. So I answered my own question. Thank you. Mike Abdul, we will not let you go. Give us something, you know, those...
We have his song, No Other Name on cue, but you are here live, so hit us. Let's just hit us briefly. 1 minute.
Okay. Which one should I go with? Oh, no, I don't know. There's this song there I like. Moranuba. Irewa Mobaleta Koyeso Moresiayo Moroke Modele Adurami ba Mosharire Otidum Mo Farama Ajindayo. I'm gonna jump, I'm gonna jump, I'm gonna chorus all okay. Life is beautiful, it's okay. Hey, Jesus, look
That's it.
That's wonderful. But what's the underlining message in that song?
Well, the underlining message is that whatever it is, heaven is the one that blesses. Yes, that's the way it is.
That's wonderful. All right, thank you very much, Mike Abdul. We wish you well, and in the ministry, in touching people and being a role model to so many young, not necessarily only Christian musicians, but even in the whole landscape. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, this is where we come to the end of today's edition of the program. But we're going to leave you with one of the songs by Mike Abdul. No Other Name. I love the song. It's wonderful.
No Other Name.
But it's we have a barbecue today.
We actually we're going to be throwing it down. Mike Abdul, I officially invite you.
Oh yeah.
It's
going to be groovy in TVC today.
Starts at 5.
Barbecue.
We're going to be bonding. The whole of the TVC family is going to be enjoying.
I can't wait.
Major barbecue. Major.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day ahead and have a great weekend as well. I am Mike Okwoche.
And I'm Ngozi Alebu. Stay blessed now.
Like the name of Jesus, no other name. Redeemer name, no other name. No other name. Like the name. No other name. No other name. No other name. Yes, Okoro Biatima, I'm calling you.